Hello everyone. Today we're going to be going over a different property of real numbers in algebra, and we're going to be going over the substitution property. So with this, you will have a bit of homework to complete, so make sure that you're looking for it in the next couple of days. And other than that, you know what to do by now. Go ahead and go to the Dropbox, get the blank notes that are there where you found this video, print them out or take them down on another sheet of paper, and let's go ahead and get started. So an algebraic expression is defined as a mathematical phrase made up of variables and numbers. And a variable is basically the letters that you see in some of the math problems. So like if you see in an a plus 3 equals 5, whatever, a would be the variable. So the substitution property says that if a is equal to b, then the variable a may be replaced for b, the variable b, in any expression. So in order to do that, we're going to be evaluating expressions where I tell you a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 6. Now figure out what this expression is going to be, and you'll get a better idea of that once we move on to some of the examples. So we have some steps to evaluate an expression with variable replacements, or to evaluate an expression using the substitution property. What we're going to do is, number one, we're going to substitute the variables with their given values. Next, each time you substitute a variable with a number, we're going to put parentheses around the number. And finally, we follow the order of operations to finish evaluating the equation or the expression. So if we move on to number one, we have a times b squared plus c. And over here we have what a is equal to, what b is equal to, and what c is equal to. So following the first step, we're going to substitute the variables with their given values. So if I rewrite this problem, instead of writing a, I'm going to change a to 2, and we're going to put parentheses around it. B changes into 4, and we're going to write parentheses around it. And remember that b had an exponent of 2. And then we're going to add c, and c is equal to 7. And we're going to have parentheses around it. Next, we're going to follow order of operations. So we do whatever is inside the parentheses first. Well, there's no operations inside the parentheses. So next, we're going to do the exponents. The only exponent that we have for this problem is the 4 squared. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this. We have 2 times 4 squared is 16 plus 7. So now we have 2 times 16 plus 7. 2 times 16 is 32, and we're adding 7, and 32 plus 7 gives us 39. So with this, you use the substitution property to finish evaluating the expression. You put parentheses around the number that you change the variable into, and you followed order of operations to get a final answer. So moving on to number 2, we have 3x squared minus 4x. And over to the side we have if x is equal to negative 2. So the first step we have to do is substitute x. So we're going to rewrite this. We have 3. We're going to change x into negative 2, and we're going to add the parentheses. And remember that it was x squared. So we're going to have an exponent of 2. Then we're subtracting 4. And we have another x. So that's x. That x is also going to change into negative 2. So we're following order of operations. Parentheses. We have some, but there's no operations inside of them, so we can skip that. Next we have exponents. We have one set of exponents. It's this negative 2 squared. So what we're going to do is we're going to take negative 2 multiplied by negative 2. That gives us a positive 4. Then we're going to subtract 4 times negative 2 gives us a negative 8. And then finally, if we finish this problem out, we have 3 times 4, which is 12. If we subtract a negative, it's the same thing as adding. So we're going to add 8. And 12 plus 8 gives us a positive 20, which is our final answer. Moving on. So we have a few problems that have some of the substitution things that we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the odd numbers. So I'm going to do 3, 5, and on the next page I'm going to do 7, 9, and 11. The even numbers are for you to do, and those will be graded. So whenever you submit your completed notes, make sure that you have those problems finished so I can give you a grade for those. So we have a squared times b minus b squared. If we're following the instructions, the first thing we do is substitute. So we're going to rewrite a as 3 and b as negative 4. So a changes into 3. We have those parentheses, and it's also squared, times b. B was negative 4 minus, we said b was negative 4, and that b is squared, so this one's squared. So next we're going to do exponents, parentheses. Do you see any parentheses that have operations inside of them? If you look, your answer should be no. So we're going to move on to exponents. We have 2 different sets. We have the 3 squared, and we have the negative 4 squared. So we're going to do those at the same time. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which gives us 9, and we're multiplying that by negative 4, minus negative 4 squared is negative 4 multiplied by negative 4. That gives us a positive 16. Finally, we're done with exponents, so we move on to multiplication or division. Left to right, we have 9 times negative 4, which gives us negative 36. And we're subtracting 16. And if we finish this one out, we have negative 16 minus 16, negative 36 minus 16, and that gives us a negative 52, which is our final answer. Number 4, again, is yours to do on your own. Make sure that you have it completed by the time you submit the notes. Moving on to number 5. We have negative y squared minus 3 times x times y. And we have that x is equal to negative 4 and y is equal to 2. So, first step we have to do is substitute. So we're going to rewrite y as 2 and x as negative 4. So we have negative y changes into 2, and that's squared, minus 3 times x was negative 4, and y was 2. following order of operations. We don't have any parentheses with operations inside, so we're going to move on to exponents. We have one set of exponents, so we're going to work on those, and it's 2 squared. 2 times 2 is 4, so we have negative 4 minus 3 multiplied by negative 4 multiplied by 2. The next thing we have to worry about is multiplication or division, and we're going left to right. So starting on the left, we have negative 4 minus 3 times negative 4 gives us a negative 12, and negative 12 multiplied by 2 gives us a negative 24. So again, if we subtract a negative number, we're actually going to add, and negative 4 plus 24 gives us a positive 20, which is our final answer. And again, we're actually going to skip number 6, so don't do number 6. Number 7, we have a squared plus b squared, all divided by a minus b. And we have that a is equal to 3, and b is equal to 4. So the first thing we have to do is substitute. So we have a squared, that changes into 3 squared, plus b squared, which was 4, that changes to 4 squared, all over a minus b. A was 3, b was 4. So now we have this problem to work with. If we follow the order of operations, we have parentheses. We don't have anything that has operations inside, so we skip it. We move on to exponents. We have 2 sets of exponents. We have a 3 squared and a 4 squared. So let's evaluate those. 3 squared gives us 9. 4 squared gives us 16. All over 3 minus 4. Let's go ahead and do that one. 3 minus 4 gives us a negative 1. On top we have 9 plus 16. 9 plus 16 gives us 25. And 25 is being divided by negative 1. And if we divide by negative 1, that just changes the sign. So we have 25 divided by negative 1 is negative 25. And that's our answer for number 7. Again, number 8 is yours to try. Next, we have number 9. Instead of just having 2 variables, we're moving on to having 3 variables. So we have x squared minus 2 times the quantity x minus y minus z cubed, where x is equal to 2, y is equal to negative 2, and z is equal to negative 3. First step is we have to substitute. So x squared, that changes to 2 squared minus 2. X changes to 2. Y changes to negative 2. And remember to put parentheses around it. Then we're subtracting z cubed, and z changed to negative 3. And we're cubing it. So, first step, we look at our parentheses. Do we have anything that has parentheses inside? Do you have anything that has parentheses with operations inside? Your answer should be yes, since we have 2 minus negative 2. So we're going to do those first. We have 2 squared still, minus 2. Inside the parentheses, we have 2 minus negative 2. Well, if we subtract a negative, it's the same as adding, so we actually have 2 plus 2, which is 4. Minus negative 3 cubed. So now we're done with the parentheses. Now we move on to exponents. So we have the 2 squared and the negative 3 cubed. So 2 squared changes into 4. We have minus 2 times 4 minus negative 3 cubed. So that's negative 3 multiplied by negative 3 multiplied by negative 3. So we have negative 3 multiplied by negative 3. That gives us a positive 9. And positive 9 multiplied by negative 3 gives us a negative 27. So negative 3 cubed is negative 27. Finally, or not finally, next we're going to do multiplication or division, left to right. So we have 4 minus 2 times 4 is 8. And if we subtract a negative, it's the same thing as adding, 27. Finally, we have addition or subtraction, and we're going to work from left to right. So we have 4 minus 8, which is negative 4, plus 27. And negative 4 plus 27 gives us a positive 23, which is our answer for number 9. Again, number 10 is yours to complete on your own. Finally, we have number 11. Number 11 is negative a squared minus 2bc minus the absolute value of c. And we have the a is equal to negative 2, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to negative 3. First step is to substitute the numbers. So whatever variable, we're going to look over to the side, figure out what it is, and change it. So we have negative a squared. A is actually negative 2, and it's still squared, minus 2 times b, b is 3, times c, which is negative 3, minus the absolute value of c, which was negative 3. And this is our new problem. So we're going to look for parentheses first, since we don't have, we have the absolute value, so we're going to work with it first. So let's rewrite everything. We have negative 2 squared minus 2 times 3 times negative 3 minus the absolute value of negative 3, you should know from last time, which is just 3. And now we move on to exponents. We have one set, it's negative 2 squared. So we have negative 2 squared is negative 2 multiplied by negative 2, and that gives us a positive 4. So we have negative 4 minus 2 times 3 times negative 3 minus 3. So the next step that we do is this multiplication here. So we have 2 times 3 times negative 3. So we have negative 4 minus 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times negative 3 is going to be negative 18 minus 3. And then we do the addition or subtraction from left to right. So we have negative 4 minus negative 18. That's the same thing as saying adding 18. So negative 4 plus 18 is going to give you 14. And we have 14 minus 3, which gives us 11. And 11 is our final answer. Again, number 12 is yours to do on your own. And finally, we have the summary, which is also yours to do on your own. What I want here is you to explain what substitution is, how you use it, and how you can solve something without copying the exact words on the front page. Again, in order to show me that you actually watched this video, I need you to submit a picture of your completed notes to Google Classroom and make sure that you have all of the even numbers completed except for number 6. So you should have 4, 8, 10, and 12 done by the time that you submit this. Make sure that you worked kind of hard on them and figured them out. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or text me. And that's all I have for you today. Be looking for a homework assignment in the next couple of days. I hope that you have a wonderful day.